Welcome back. It's 6:48. You're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning. Karen has left me. She's gone somewhere, but we had to have her seat, so that's why she'll be back. We're glad to have Ken Jones and Sandy Moore. Of course, Sandy is no stranger to our viewers. This is Ken's first time, but we're just glad to have you guys here. I always love to talk about junior achievement.
We're glad to be
Good.
here.
We do too. Great. You do too. It's a great organization. Ken and I go back a ways. We used to be in Rotary together. I guess you're still there.
Still there.
But
right.
I had to resign because I just got so busy. I can't keep up.
Still got my pin on.
Got your pin on. And you
and
guys.
Sandy's in it too.
Sandy is too, yeah. Do a great job. Junior Achievement is just an amazing organization. Been around. It's an international organization ministering to young people, helping young people achieve the best they can achieve in life. And the one here has just got a fantastic record, and you guys have got a bunch of stuff going on. So let's start. And first of all, Sandy, let's just kind of catch up with the year. What's been going on for the year?
We just completed our 45th year here in McMinn and Bradley County. We reached over 6,400 students this year, just in our basic programs, with an additional 1,500 with our reality check programs. That is 1/3 more than we did last year. And one of the things that's very interesting about that figure is the fact that majority of the increase is from middle school students. Our middle schools
Really?
I don't think we had a class that was under 30 students per class.
That is great.
So, you know, the middle schools are bulging at the seams, and it is a fantastic ground for us to plow and to teach kids about free enterprise and financial literacy and career exploration, which we do in the middle school areas.
Now, I know, Ken, you do some of the teaching. Of course, you're on the board of Junior Achievement. He's also a volunteer. Of course, when you're on the board, you're a volunteer. But
for life.
that's the way it is with me on the Red Cross. You're on the board, but you're a volunteer. But you do some teaching in the classroom, too.
Yes, Dan, I do.
Describe that setting and what it's about.
Well, I've been volunteering in the schools for about 15 years now, and sometimes it's kind of intimidating going into the classroom and having those kids. You wouldn't think 8th graders could be that intimidating. But I've gotten used to it, and the kids are terrific. They have a lot of enthusiasm, especially if the instructor shows a lot of enthusiasm, and they can really get into it. And it's become a very important part of my life, and we just enjoy doing it terrifically.
Yeah. Describe a typical setting where you go in and you talk to them about free enterprise. Is that basically what you do?
About free enterprise, and we try and link what they're learning in school with what they're actually going to do out in the real world. So we actually put together budgets. For example, we play a game that shows them the longer that they stay in school, the more earning potential that they're going to have with their careers. So we try and link up. I think I remember when I look back at my schooling, I said, well, I'm never going to need math, and I'm never going to need geography or science.
Same way.
You know, but we show kids how to link that into the real world.
Yeah, they need all those skills. So you actually go into the classroom. You don't bring the students to another setting. So you work in conjunction with the schools,
Right.
and you help them focus on real life.
Yes.
And that's something, if I may say so, in my generation when I was in middle school, that's something that was lacking.
Right.
You know, something as basic as learning how to balance a checkbook.
Yes.
I think I was an adult before I really learned how to do that.
Well, kids learn how to do arithmetic, but they don't actually know
How to apply it.
But that's an applied skill that you really need to know, how to balance a checkbook so you know where your money is, or if you have any money.
Right.
And one of the nicest programs that JA has is a reality check, where kids actually come into the gymnasium at the school. We have different stations set up where they go around and they purchase vehicles, they get a job, they buy health insurance, they buy car insurance. It's all done with play money, and they do it within about 45 minutes to an hour. And they realize how over their head they can get if they buy a real expensive car and that sort of thing. So that teaches them the whole ball of wax right there.
So you give them X amount of monopoly money, and they have to stay within the budget,
so to speak,
and purchase the necessities of life.
Right. We give them a whole scenario, a whole life scenario of education attainment level, family lifestyle, how many kids, married, working spouse, and so forth. And the whole idea is to purchase everything your family needs for a month without
Yeah.
going bankrupt. And
Yeah.
if they go bankrupt, they have to go to bankruptcy court and reconfigure their budget.
Oh.
And it's
boy, what a-
eye-opening for
what a-
8th graders and for the volunteers.
What a great life lesson that is. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that that's taking place and the schools are cooperating with you in that regard. But some of the life skills that you learn in middle school, it's what you take with you the rest of your life. And
Right.
if you don't learn it then, it's a hard lesson later in life, just like me learning how to balance a checkbook. I thought I'd never figure that out, but of course.
And too, one of the things, Dan, that happens is from our experiences in middle school, we have some excellent programs we offer in the high school, from success skills, where we are really working to mold the future workers in this community. And also the financial literacy skills, so they understand their financial responsibility. And people like Ken coming in that can relate their own personal experiences to the students just brings that magic to the JA program and makes it so valuable.
You actually become mentors to these kids.
Exactly.
Right, and they can't believe we're doing this for free. We're just volunteers, and we come in and do that. They say, "Oh, come on, you're getting
Yeah.
paid something for this." So
Yeah, that's
you get a
interesting.
kick out of it.
And of course, junior achievement this past year, we talked a little bit about the year in review, but I think you were involved, the JA nationwide was involved with the Pentagon, and I think the local JA
Right.
was involved in helping. Well, you just explain what
Well,
you were doing there.
actually what happened was JA USA was invited as one of 2 nonprofits to meet with, in the Pentagon, with the Economic Advisory Committee and the Joint Chiefs of Staff to determine what can be done to improve the quality of students, the quality of young people that are trying to get into the military. And there is a big void. These students are not able to pass the basic tests. And what the military was concerned about was not so much being able to recruit people to go on the front lines, but the fact that this is a real threat to our national security.
Exactly.
If students do not understand our country's economic system and do not value it, it's very easy for them to fall prey to some other type of philosophy and create a problem for this country.
Yeah, and it seems like JA would be the perfect organization to partner in that regard. Well, that's exciting. Now, I understand you're in the middle of your campaign
Correct.
coming
We
up.
have our
So-
spring campaign going
Spring
on right
campaign.
now. Right.
Tell us about that, Ken.
Well, we're trying to raise $75,000. We're already about 58% toward our goal on
Good.
doing that. So it's ahead of last year, and the growth of JA and our success in this area has created some stress on the ability to provide these, because it does take some funds to provide the kits for the kids to study. So we've got our letters out right now. We have our campaign volunteers that are calling people, trying to get them to go ahead and fill out their pledge form.
Yeah.
So if you got a pledge form in the mail or someone's calling you, fill it out. Don't delay
Yeah.
and get it in.
You
'cause
really
it's
are investing in the future of this country
Absolutely.
and this
Right.
community when you invest in JA, aren't you?
Exactly.
really are.
You really are.
I mean, we hear
Because these
that
are going to be our future leaders. They're
Yeah.
going to be right here.
You hear that cliche a lot. Politicians say, "Well, invest in America." In this case, you really are investing.
You really are.
You are, because
really
this
are.
is, for the most part, this is not being taught in school.
No, it's not.
And the other part of our program is we are correlated to state and federal standards, so we're really enhancing what the teachers are doing in the classroom and helping them meet their standards. But these are our future leaders.
Yeah. If you care about your community and care about your country, then invest in the kids
That's
that
right.
JA is reaching, and they're doing it. They're doing a great job. Now, I know the campaign's important, but you've got a fun thing coming up later this fall, I believe. Talk
Oh,
about
yes.
that. I heard that Elvis is going to be in the building.
Elvis is going to be returning. He had a
Right.
great engagement last year. We had so much fun with Travis LaDoit
Yeah.
coming here and doing that. We've already had people now that are calling the JA office asking about tickets.
Oh,
But
good.
he's going to be back in September.
September September the 15th.
So we've already got him on the books,
Uh-huh.
and we're very excited. He'll be at the Con Center.
Oh,
at,
great. Good
Yeah.
venue.
Lee University, yes.
Yeah.
That's where the benefit concert
That's
is
correct.
tonight,
Right.
so I'm excited about
Right.
that. So
We are too.
he's a young man, been doing this for a while, so he must be pretty good at it.
He is so good, and I love Elvis music. He is just phenomenal, and he is such a really nice person, nice family,
Yeah.
and just a wonderful guy. And when he gets to the concert and is unloading the vehicles, you'll never know that he's the one that's going to be made up to look like Elvis.
He puts on all
Yeah,
the
it just
regalia
puts on a
Yes.
terrific
and the white
show.
suit with the big collar, I suppose.
No,
he doesn't do that.
No,
actually,
he is the young Elvis.
The young
he's the
Elvis.
1950s Elvis.
See, that's the Elvis that I like.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like the young
It's,
Elvis,
It's
and I like
not
the-
the old one.
I like
It's
the
young.
early music.
He's
of
got
Elvis.
all his moves.
Yeah,
So he's got them down
Yeah.
pat. He's really good.
Yeah.
The young Elvis, the later Elvis, I'm not much of a fan
Yeah.
of, but the young Elvis and
Uh-huh.
that music like All Shook Up and Love Me Tender and Heartbreak Hotel and all
There
that.
you go.
I
All
love
those good ones,
See,
huh?
you and I have a lot in common in that regard. Ken. Yeah, I'll have to get me a ticket and come to see that.
Definitely.
Of course, we'll be hearing more about that
Yes.
as the summer rolls
Very
on.
soon,
and
we
you'll
will
be
start
back,
a
I'm
promotional
sure.
campaign
Yeah,
on
you'll
that.
be back to help us with that.
We also have our Monster Ball that we are bringing back this year.
Oh.
That we had 2 years ago. That will be at the Museum Center at 5 Points, and that will be on October the 21st.
Okay.
Just before Halloween.
Okay.
Right. So,
So monster,
we've got a couple
Monster
things.
Ball. That's why you call it Monster Ball.
Monster
There you
Ball,
go.
that's right, that's right. And you know, it's fascinating, the people that want to dress up in costume and come out for a night of fun and entertainment.
Yeah.
So,
Our community likes to have fun.
yes.
They do.
They're very
Yeah.
serious. They love to help, and we've seen that in this response to the disaster.
Most definitely.
They're there to help, but when it's time to let your hair down and relax, they like to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. I'm told we have to take a break, but guys, it's great seeing you, and thanks for coming.
Thanks for
on
having
the
us,
Thank
Dan.
you. Thank you
Ken
for
Jones
having
and
us.
Sandy Moore from Junior Achievement. And we'll have you back and learn more about Elvis when he's coming to the
Okay.
community.
Glad to.
7
Sounds
o'clock,
wonderful.
back in a moment with some headline news, and I believe Steve Watson is going to be here, as well as Wes Robbins, and we'll have that coming up on the Tennessee Valley this morning. They sold it to Fox. Welcome back. It's 7:02, and you're watching the Tennessee Valley this morning, and we appreciate Ken Jones and Sandy Moore for coming in and telling us all about Junior Achievement. And I told you Karen would be back.
I'm back.
She's back, and she brought somebody with her.
I found Steve.
Steve Watson
here.
there.
He's in the house.
He's
So-
in the house.
yes.
Steve, of course, from the DIY Network and TV host, a man about town, a jack of all trades, a builder, and
He's been living in California and LA,
Yeah.
and we're glad he's back in Cleveland.
yeah. And of course, Steve is a local product, aren't you, from Cleveland?
Born and raised in Bradley County, proud graduate of Bradley High School in
Go
1990.
Bears.
You know, go Bears! And just went out to California and decided I was always a builder, and that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then while I was building houses and in the trades, I was also a stand-up comedian. So I'm telling jokes
Oh,
at
really?
night, telling jokes at night, and building houses during the day. And you know, when you talk to the TV gods and you say, "Okay, I want a show," you have to be more specific. There was one day I'll never forget. Really hot day out in Los Angeles, and of all people, I'm building a deck for my agent, and it's a super hot day, 110 degrees. He shows up, and I said, "Listen, I know this is crazy, but if I don't get some sort of a show this year, I'm going back to the South. I can do construction for a living down there. Got a show, still doing construction. Been doing it ever since.
He's
So for
still
the last-
working hard,
Yeah,
Steve.
for the last 9 years, still swinging a hammer. Just now we have a camera in front of us. So you have to be more specific when you talk to the TV gods and you're asking for something. But you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's been great.
Yeah.
Love working with my hands. Love teaching people, and I don't have to read scripts. So that's also kind of a blessing. So we're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, the ad lib is so much better. That's one reason I like this morning show. It's totally unscripted, and you don't have to worry about it. You come in and sit down, drink coffee, and talk to nice people like Steve.
There you go.
It's easy. We're going to come back and talk to Steve a little bit more about specifically why he's here, but I'm told that I need to give you some headline news, so we'll turn over here to this other camera and let you know what's going on around town. A cell tower application near the Cleveland-Bradley County Greenway has been approved by the Cleveland Commission. The tower application was received 5 months ago from Verizon Wireless. Some residents objected due to its proximity to the Greenway. However, property owner John Eldridge pointed out that his land near Stewart and 24th Street is already zoned commercial. The planning board approved the request conditional upon an approved design from Verizon Wireless. Storm debris removal is expected to take several weeks, according to the companies contracted to do the work. But County Mayor Gary Davis reports progress is being made, and he says more than 1,000 loads of debris and brush have been removed, and he asked residents affected by the storm to remain patient with the process. The United Way has scheduled 3 workshops for community programs interested in applying for Bradley Memorial Health Endowment Fund grants for the 2012 calendar year. The grants have been made possible from the 2005 sale of Bradley Memorial Hospital. This is the 4th year that grants will be provided from the fund administered by United Way, and all 3 workshops are conducted in June, and of course we'll keep you posted on that. Residents in the Ashland Ridge area can get information on establishing a neighborhood watch program this evening. Bradley County Sheriff Jim Ruth and Lieutenant Bob Hancock will be on hand at 6:30 this evening at 157 Ashland Ridge. The sheriff and Lieutenant Hancock will provide all the necessary information residents need to get the watch program off the ground in that community. That's your headline news. Let's take a look at your weather forecast and see how it's looking today. It's overcast right now and rained a little bit this morning and overnight. In fact, it may have kind of stormed a little bit in my neighborhood. I didn't know about it. Had no clue. Got up this morning. I looked out. There were twigs and leaves everywhere, all over the streets, and it rained. But that's going to continue, it looks like, through tomorrow, so take an umbrella with you as you go out today, just in case. Don't leave it in the trunk of your car like I always do. High today of 80, tomorrow 82, and on Saturday, chance of rain. We're hoping that that's going to clear out of here by Memorial Day, because the Memorial Day is the official beginning. Everybody knows that's the official beginning of summer, so you have to put the boat in the water on Memorial Day on Monday. And right now it is 64 degrees, 707, and we're talking to Steve Watson from DIY Network, TV host, local Bradley Bear graduate, and
He was talking about that we're having another benefit concert tonight too.
Yes.
We've got the one at Lee University, and we're also having another one. So this is
coming up. I heard a blip about that yesterday, but I didn't have enough information to talk about it. So if you have the information, Steve, please tell us about it.
Well, this is our 3rd fundraiser. Right after the storms, I had spoken with family and friends, and I wanted to know what I could do. Right now I'm on hiatus, so we're not shooting anything. And so I wanted to know what I could do to help out the community. I love this great community. It's always been good to me. And so we came back, and after taking a look at some of the storm damage and everything, I just got together with this amazing team, Kelly Ballou, who I went to high school with, and Suzanne Wimberly Wisdom, and Greg Kaler, and we got together and said, what can we do? So we figured we would just raise funds constantly, just always fundraising, just bring in money just to help out all these other organizations. And so this is our 3rd fundraising event. We partnered with the Relay for Life.
Right.
And that was amazing. Brought in a nice chunk of cash. And then there was the Rock the Relief up toward the Ocoee River.
Yes.
And this is the Rock the Relief 2. And it's at good old Pokey's.
Yeah.
Over on Sahara Drive.
Yeah.
And
there'll be a crowd there, I can assure you.
yeah, and you know what? And that is exactly what we're looking for. So there are 2 shows going on tonight. Both ends of the spectrum, and we're just hoping to bring in as much money as we can, because what we are doing is trying to meet these individual unmet needs. You know, the things the things that can make a difference today.
Right.
You can touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it, and we're trying to help those people that will not ask for help.
And the unmet needs take so many forms. Everything from, some families need paper towels and other families need a house.
Yeah.
So it's a broad spectrum of what the needs are. And money is probably the best thing you can do to help these people.
Absolutely. Because we know right now, so many people have asked me, so where are you going to start? Which house are you going to rebuild? And that'll happen. but that's not what we can do right now. We are working with all the great agencies. Habitat for Humanity is going to start swinging hammers this week, which is great. Get the first hammer swung, start getting things rebuilt, because there's been so much cleanup. What we have decided that we are going to do in the short term is just bring in money just to help with the United Way, Salvation Army, Men and Women of Action, Bradley Baptist, all these great organizations. And we're just trying to bring in as much money as we can just to help those folks out. It's everyone on this team is working on a 100% volunteer basis. Every single penny is going right through the United Way's account, and then to help out with all these unmet needs. I heard stories where someone had their roof ripped off. They're still sleeping on wet mattresses.
Yeah, I know.
And because they're just so much pride in this community, but no one's going to come up and ask, you know, can you guys help me get a mattress? And so what we'll do is we'll buy the mattress, send it over. It's here. You know, you've been doing so much for the community.
Yeah, one of the initial things that you were instrumental in, Steve, when you came, was establishing the BradleyDisasterRelief.org, and of course the Mayor's Coalition sanctioned that, and it's now a part of the, well, it's the website for the Long-Term Recovery Committee.
Right.
So we try to promote that website as much as possible, BradleyDisasterRelief.org, but Steve was instrumental in getting that off the ground. And as of, I haven't checked today, but as of 2 days ago, it had raised over $23,000.
Absolutely, and we are we're asking for more, you know. And I've just been telling. This is such a great community. There's such great, great people in the city of Cleveland and Bradley County, and right now there are a lot of your brothers and sisters that are hurting.
Yeah,
and
they really are.
What we have decided to do is just come in and just continue to pound the pavement and do what we can. I've actually decided, because this is going to be a long-term commitment, I've decided I'm moving back.
Are you really?
And I'm going to come. I'm moving back to Cleveland, Tennessee, and you know, my shows all shoot on the East Coast anyway, and so I'm tired of that California perfect weather.
I've been to L.A. and I'd rather live in Bradley County, anyways.
You know, and sometimes I will say when it's sometime in the middle of December and you're sitting by the pool and it's 85 degrees,
Well,
it's kind
there
of
is
nice,
that.
but you know, that's okay.
But you can always visit. There's a direct flight from Nashville.
It's not going anywhere. And so what we've decided is we're going to keep this team together. It's going to stay on a volunteer basis. When I'm here, I'm going to work these guys. You won't see these guys over here, but over here off camera is a team of people, part of the team that's just been amazing. And I've been working them like rented mules.
There
I really
you go.
have. Just been working them like you
Crack
wouldn't
the
believe.
whip.
And we're going to continue to do what we're doing because it's about long-term awareness. A lot, 3-4 years from now, it's going to be easy to forget what happened on April 27th and the lives that were affected. So we're going to remind everyone that we're not done yet. We're not finished until the last family's back in their home. That account that we've set up, there's a PayPal account on that website, the BradleyDisasterRelief.org. Also, you can access that through CBCAN, ClevelandBradleyCan.com, the new website that was set up. And we're going to keep that account opened. It's perpetual from now on. And so it can always be donated to. It will always be there. That way, 34 years from now, when this happens again, at least there will be some amount of money that we can start to help people with immediately. And I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna remind people that we need your help. And we're gonna stay on it.
Well, you heard it first right here on the Tennessee Valley this morning. Steve Watson is moving back to Cleveland.
My mom is real happy about that too. She's pleased. It's those long distance phone calls on Thanksgiving. I think we're getting really old, so now we'll do them here. So we're really excited about it. We're really excited to make this when we're not in production, when I'm not on set, when I'm not on set swinging a hammer, or hosting the new Travel Channel show coming up. When we're not doing that, my job is to be here. To stay on the ground, working with this team and working with folks like yourself and the both mayor's office and everything, and all those great agencies that we've been working with, and to continue to lend as much support as we can. Just bringing in money just to help the situation. And again, everything is 100% goes right to the problem, and that's where it should be.
And you're exactly right. So some agencies, and I don't think there's any here, but some of the charities that people donate to for other things, a lot of times if you dig a little bit, you find that all the money doesn't go.
Right.
A lot of it is taken in administrative costs and other costs, but all of this money is going to the victims, and that's or to
100%.
the agencies, and that's as it should be. I'm told we have to take a break, Steve, but it's great to see you, and thanks for coming on, and
Yeah,
thanks for
thank
coming
you.
back to Cleveland and helping us in this recovery effort and lending your name and your support to what we're doing here.
Thank you guys for having me. I hope to be here on a regular basis,
Good.
bringing some good news, giving you updates. We're hoping by this time tomorrow, fingers crossed, we're hoping that $23,000 turns into $56,000.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
And then the goal, my personal goal by the end of June is we would like to have 6 figures in that account. Because and that is after writing checks to some of the victims. So we're going to start helping people immediately. That's what we're here to do, and we're going to keep doing it until the job's done.
That is fantastic. Well, thanks so much, and we really want to have you back and give us an update from time to time about
Love to.
how it's going, how the effort's going. It is 7:15, and we'll be back in just a moment on the Tennessee Valley This Morning. Did you hear that voice coming out of the control room there? That
Mics are
loud
up.
voice. Mics are up. That's our new what do you call her? Director.
She does
whatever.
everything.
She's the new Jonathan. Jonathan's moved on, and he's gone to other things down at the Sky.
But we're glad Jennifer's here.
We're
She's,
thrilled that Jennifer's
Yes.
here. Not that we don't miss Jonathan, but we're thrilled that Jennifer's here.
just when I came in this morning, she was just also cheerful.
Yeah, she
you know,
smiled.
not that Jonathan wasn't, not saying anything negative
Yeah,
about Jonathan, but
yeah.
it was just good to see her smiling when
Yeah.
you first come in
Yeah.
so early.
Yeah, of course, we always picked on Jonathan, and he was always so sarcastic to us, and it was a kind of a ongoing shtick. But we make fun of Jonathan, and he made fun of us. It's 7:18, and we're back, and we want to thank Steve Watson for coming on and sharing with what he is doing and his efforts to raise funds to help those who are affected by the storms and make their lives a little easier. Right now, we're going to talk to another fella who is no stranger. He comes on frequently, and that's Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance and Brokerage, and we're glad to see you again, Byron. How are you?
Glad to be here, Dan. Doing well.
Good. I don't know if I asked you this the last time you were on or not, but we talked about the storms, but were you affected by the storm at all, your home and or friends or family that you know?
No one in my home or my immediate family.
That's a blessing.
My brother had power go out for about a week or so, but no damage to his home either. So,
Well, that's a blessing. Byron always brings some good information to us, and of course, in this crisis that we're digging our way out of, one of the big issues that has come to the forefront is homeowners insurance, and we found that a lot of people aren't insured, and some people were underinsured, which can almost be as bad as having no insurance. And there's just a lot of red tape and technicalities. In fact, the last time you were here, you talked about insurance and the different types of homeowners policies, and I took that to heart. And first thing I did when I got off the show, when they opened, I called my insurance agent. And I said,
Did you?
I need to find out what kind of policy I have.
I know you said you were going to. I
did it.
I
I did
remember,
it.
you know.
Yeah,
you got a lot
did.
going on, Dan.
And sure enough, I have the policy that you recommended. So it's
Good.
something.
That was the value.
Yeah, the
value-
replacement.
Replacement cost back.
Replacement cost value. That's what I have, which is what you said I should have.
Right.
So
Now, how about your contents? Did you go home and video all your contents?
I haven't
and do
had
a little
Well,
dialogue.
I've been busy, Byron. I haven't had a chance to do that. But that's on my to-do list.
All right.
And so I've got that. On
For
the
a
list.
small fee, no.
For the small, you'd be glad to come and do that for me, or rent me the camera, right? Well, let's talk a little bit about, of course, Landmark Insurance, a staple in the community. But for those who don't know, tell us about Landmark and where you guys are.
Well, we're located across from the YMCA on Stewart Road. A lot of folks probably know the building to be the old Coppinger building. Mr. Zip's headquarters is there. Charter Media was there for a while, and so Suite 101, and that big building on the corner of Stewart and Old Tasso. Or
Just go in and ask for Byron or Wes Robbins.
Wes, yeah, you can probably talk to Wes if
yeah,
you want to
yeah,
talk to Wes.
yeah.
Or Kathy. Kathy's there
Kathy.
on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And you you work in the homeowners area or the commercial area, or what do you do there?
Homeowners and commercial. So home and auto, boats, RVs, umbrellas, and then also general liability for business owners and workers' comp and commercial auto and almost everything in between.
Yeah. Now, during the storm, we discovered there were a lot of houses, 285 houses, Karen, that were destroyed. But a lot of apartments and condos were also affected. So people who own condos, do they have the same kind of concerns about homeowners insurance that single dwellings have?
They have some of the same concerns, but there's also a specific policy for condo owners.
Oh, is there?
And condo owners have a unique dwelling situation. They share a lot of structural walls sometimes, roofs, common breezeways, hallways, elevators sometimes, and also some common amenities, a pool maybe, or a clubhouse. So there's some pitfalls there. If they don't have the right coverage, they could find themselves in a situation they don't want to be in.
Oh, okay.
And so most condo owner associations have what they call a master insurance policy. So those of you that are looking to purchase a condo, think you might purchase a condo, or already own a condo, make sure you get a good look at that master policy and know who's responsible for what and under what circumstances, what the deductible for that master policy might be.
Now, when you say master policy, you're talking about the policy for the overall
for the
structure?
overall community.
Okay.
So the association itself will have some kind of a policy to protect themselves.
Okay.
And that has some obligations for them in the policy. It also has some obligations for the condo owners.
Okay.
So it's important that they know who's responsible for what. When the storms came through, if someone lived in a condo owners association and they received extensive damage, the owners of the association, the owners of the condos in the association, may be jointly liable for losses that don't meet the deductible. They could be jointly responsible for the deductible, and each master policy is going to be a little bit different. So if they had $30,000 in wind damage, but a $50,000 deductible, then the owners of the association, the owners of the condos in the association may have to come up with that deductible. So, if it's a $30,000 wind damage and you got 100 owners, $300 isn't a whole lot of money, but some people it's more than they want to come up with
But
this month if they're on a fixed income.
But you need to know ahead of time so you're not surprised
know
by
ahead
it
of time so
when
you're
you
not
have to
surprised.
write a check for your share.
The bigger deal is, some of those common amenities. If little Johnny comes over and decides to take a dip in the community pool, but he can't swim and he drowns,
Liability.
mom and dad
concern.
go after him. Then you run to the liability conversation we had
Yeah.
here several weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they sued for $5 million. But the master policy taps out at $2 million. They have a liability limit of $2 million. Guess who's responsible for the other $3 million beyond that? Because it can come back on those condos owners, in the association.
Oh, those are real concerns.
So you start splitting $3 million of them amongst those 100 people, and you're talking $30,000 apiece, and that's
Yeah. So those are things that an average single-dwelling homeowner would not normally have to be concerned with. You have to be concerned if you're a condo owner about your neighbors as well,
that's right.
making sure that everybody is covered and insured. That is interesting. So how does a condo association enter into the picture? Most of these have an association if it's a condominium complex.
Correct. The association is responsible for the community at large. Their policy is typically going to cover the roofs and breezeways and elevators. But something that some condo owners think maybe going into the situation, or maybe they're considering becoming a condo owner, they say, well, they have a policy, then I'm protected. They need to be careful and look at the fine print, because oftentimes their contents and the things within their individual unit are not covered. So the structure may get built back and put a nice roof on it, some nice walls, but they may not have cabinets and flooring and furniture if they don't have the proper coverages in the policy.
So let's say I decide to move back in town away from the river. Not
going to happen.
let's just say that I decide I'm going to get a condo and it has an association. What what should I do? Does every insurance agent sell condo insurance?
You know, Dan, not every carrier offers a condo policy.
Okay.
So it depends on the agent. You know, who do they represent? What are they, a captive agent? Do they represent one company and that's it, or you know, kind of work for that company? And we all know State Farm and Allstate and Nationwide agents, and those are captive agents.
Right.
Or is it a broker? And if it's a broker, they probably have more than one outlet. So hopefully, more, you know, at least maybe one of their carriers might
Sure.
have a policy that would be specific for condo owners, but not everybody does. So make sure you talk to your agent and make sure they understand your needs, and they can better advise you and tell you which companies they offer or which companies they represent that offer.
And that's what
Condo
Landmark
policies.
is a brokerage, right?
We're a brokerage, so we have more than one carrier, multiple carriers.
So you can actually shop with various carriers to make sure that you're getting the best coverage and the best deal.
You can, and hopefully, you know, hopefully your agent, you know, knows each carrier that they have pretty well, and it probably won't come up much about the different carriers. They're going to hopefully find the best price and the best coverage kind of combination package and offer that to you. So, but yes, you could say, okay, well now who's this carrier and how do they compare to some of your other carriers, and you can get into that too if you wanted.
Yeah. So people listening this morning or watching this morning, and they decide, well, I need to check into that. How do they get a hold of you?
They can call us, 478-3872 is our phone number. They can find us on the web at www.landmarkib for insurancebrokerage.com.
Landmarkib.com. So check it out, and that's where you'll find Byron and Wes and Kathy. Is it Kathy? I don't think I've met Kathy.
Byron, Kathy, and Wes.
You
There
have to
you
bring
go.
Kathy one
The big
morning
thrill.
and both of us get up here.
We're here on Thursdays. Maybe I can get her up early enough, you know,
There you go. Let her
to come in.
Give an account of herself. Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance and Brokerage. We're just about out of time. We got about a minute left, I've just been told. But appreciate you coming in and giving us this good information. Before we go, are you going to go to MooFest this next weekend? I don't know.
Say yes, say
There's
yes.
a lot going on.
Just say yes.
It
They
is.
won't know. They won't know. Just
Nod
say
your head
yes.
yes.
Sure, yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
definitely going to be
It's
there.
going to be a lot of fun. And of course, Karen's going to be there.
MooFest Saturday and Sunday, June 4th and 5th. You have some little ones?
I do.
We have a carnival there.
All right. Well, he's been asking about the carnival. You know, they have some rides up there at the Bradley Square Mall. And he was
Oh,
asking
okay,
about the other
they
day. I
do?
said, you're not going to go on any of those rides. He said, oh yes, I will, Daddy. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to take it. MooFest has been going on how many years?
It has been going on, I want to say 14, but I may
14
be wrong
years.
on
Of
that.
course, Mayfield Ice Cream, Mayfield Dairy, a big sponsor of that. Maggie the cow's going to be there.
Maggie will be representing.
Scotty
yeah.
Mayfield will be there, and you've got
And Karen Kelly's gonna be
Karen
there.
Kelly's going to be. Of course, Karen works for the tourism department of the Chamber of Commerce.
I
in Athens,
do, yes.
and we're always glad that she is here on Thursday mornings. Usually, not always, but usually.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a lot of fun. I've been here in 14 years. Of course, I've been here a lot longer than 14 years. But in those 14 years, I've never been to MooFest. So this year, I plan to go.
You're going to go.
I'm going to do my
Okay,
best to
I
go.
will look for you.
Got to meet Maggie the cow.
I got to meet Maggie. I've met Scotty, so meeting Maggie is my next goal in life. That's on my bucket list. We're out of time. Thanks so much for watching this morning. It's Thursday. Don't forget to take your umbrella with you. It's overcast. They're calling for some scattered showers on and off through Saturday. Hopefully it's going to warm up and be nice for the holiday weekend. We certainly hope so. But we'll see you back here tomorrow on Friday morning edition of the Tennessee Valley This Morning. Have a great, great Thursday.